started to be homeless because I decided to leave him.
Okay.
For my children. I could have gone to family, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to take care of my children on my own. Right. So I didn't want to have to rely on anyone else. Mm-hmm. So just looking back, he has brought me so far. I mean, I literally, you hear people say this all the time, but this is true. Mm-hmm. I left with the clothes on my back and one change of clothes. I mean, I'm so serious. And one change of clothes for my children.
Okay.
I didn't have my driver's license. I, of course, didn't have a job because I lost a lot of jobs because of him. Calling to the job and just, saying things to me like, oh, you need to come home because I'm not going to watch the kids. So just things like that. And when I look back,
mm-hmm. I'm sorry,
I know that God was there. I know he had to be. And It just amazes me that even though my eyes weren't on him, mm-hmm. that he was still there.
Wow. So what about the healing process?
Wow. The healing process takes a long time. I have been away from him for 7 years.
Okay.
And the healing process takes a long time. I prayed, I went to counseling, I did everything. And a lot of times it seems as though you're alone. Mm-hmm. And by going to a domestic violence shelter, there were other women who were in the shelter who went through the same thing that I went through. And that let me know that I was not alone. I also received help from the counselors there. I was able to find a job and go to school and things like that. I was in a shelter that was in the Washington, D.C. area.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I went to. I went to Washington, D.C.
Wow. Mm.
But the healing process, it takes a long time to heal. And it's like when you leave, what do? You know, when I left, I was like, what am I supposed to do? I was so hungry for the information. Right. I picked up books and I'm reading books, but the books are always talking about the cycle. I already know what the cycle is. I went through this cycle.
We want some solution.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do now?
So have we found any solution?
Well, the solutions that I came up with were to distance myself from him. Mm-hmm. I had to distance myself from him. And
was that hard?
It was hard. Mm-hmm. It was hard.
Yeah, that little voice telling you, oh, I should call him, I should check on him, or oh, maybe he'll be okay. Well, what, did you go through that?
Oh, yes, I did. Yes.
How long did that process take of the weaning off of calling and contacting?
I would say about 1.5 years, because I would go for months without calling, and then I would call and just see, hey, how are you doing? And I would talk for a few, maybe a week or two. We would talk, and then he would say something that let me know, oh, no, he didn't change.
So what's that about?
Why did I call him?
Yeah. Why do we do things like that?
Because I did it because I thought he was going to change. I thought he was going to go back to the guy. And I know people were probably watching like, oh, come on.
That secret thing in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Hope.
Right, yeah, the hope. And he was my husband.
Right.
So,
a lot of people don't understand that.
They don't.
It's a difference when someone's your husband. It's not like you married him just to be marrying somebody, right. Especially if you really meant what you said when you said I do.
You're right.
When you make your vows, and in your heart you're living that out. That was something you said before God. I know people will say, well, maybe God didn't put it together or whatever. But in your heart, you were sincere.
Let me to the people who say that God didn't put it together, this is what I have to say. If I would not have gone through that, I would not be as strong as I am today. So God did put that together.
Yeah.
He did put that together, yes.
And he did sustain you through it.
He did.
He
did. I wouldn't be where I am today. I'm so happy today.
That strength.
Yes.
And your faith.
Yes.
You have a whole new faith.
Yes.
To move forward. You have accomplished much. You've written books. You're an accomplished author. Yes. That's awesome. And it's inspiring to know that we can go through some terrible, hard trials and come out victorious. You know, and just doing unbelievable things you didn't believe you would ever be able to do. Here you are with the freedom now in your spirit to be able to do it. That's how good God is.
Yeah, he allowed me to reach my highest potential, and I'm continuing to take steps up because of a low point in my life. You know, I could have given up, but I didn't give up.
Right.
And I didn't give up for my kids.
Now, speaking of the children, how